Welcome to Subramani. I've been doing a lot of videos, and off late I've been talking a lot about finfluencers or financial influencers, and today is one more. To me, when I read or when I hear some of these influencers speak, I realize how wrong they are. For example, there is this political guy who talks about what Malaya did wrong. I'm sure it takes a far more complex mind than just a YouTuber to understand what went wrong with Malaya, right? You have to go back a lot in history, and Malaya is not a person who is defaulted on a loan. That is not the only tag with which you should attach him, right? He must have borrowed maybe about 1 lakh crores and repaid 97,000 crores or something like that. So he's always been a good borrower. He has repaid, and suddenly there have been problems. It's a far more complex thing. So my take on a lot of influencers is they create a lot of humor, because sometimes when you're watching, you realize that what they're saying is sometimes wrong and sometimes dangerous. What is so bad about it? So where all have I seen influencers make mistakes? One is when they talk about things which they do not really understand. It's a little too complex. For example, it's very easy for a influencer to say you must buy term insurance with return of premium, because your premium gets saved, right? Because all the premium that you paid, you get back. Believe me, that's a beautiful trap to make you pay the premium for 30 years. Most people I know would outgrow their term insurance in 5 or 6 years. After that, they don't really need it. Should they keep it going? It's a different thing. But do they need to increase the insurance? Maybe yes. But in many cases, it needs to be dumped. They don't need that term insurance anymore. Can you dump a term insurance with return of premium? Yes, you can, but it's more expensive to dump. So when you're taking term insurance, you have to take a pure term insurance without return of premium, and for the full period you have to pay the premium. So if you take a 30-year policy, you should not have a 30-year policy with a 7-year pay or a 5-year pay, because after 2, 3, 4 years, if you want to dump it, it is much cheaper to dump a policy where you paid lesser premium, because you have to pay it every year. So that is the product which you have to buy. But the number of videos selling term insurance with return of premium, or even worse, ULIP or classical endowment, is quite shocking. You find it pretty common. That is, so unit linked insurance is one product, or generally insurance is one product which is very difficult to understand. I know people who have struggled saying, why do we need term insurance, and why, oh, that money gets wasted, it is like paying rent, you don't own the house, so why pay rent when you can buy endowment? All fantastic responses, but please understand this product. It's a complex product, and it allows you to buy a much bigger insurance than an endowment will allow. For example, if you want a 1 crore term insurance, you may have to pay 10 lakhs in an endowment premium, and you may end up paying much lesser figure, maybe 10,000 when you're buying when you're a 27, 28-year-old. So obviously you will pay much lesser price for term insurance in absolute terms, but of course this is a pure risk product, so that is how you should be buying that. The other product where I see people have so many influencers telling you how you can earn money in the stock market, or saying, I have 13 years experience in the stock market and I can tell you what to do. Believe me, last 13 years in the stock market is just not enough. If you have not seen the 90s, then you have not seen what it is to have a bad market for 6 years. How will you react to a bad market for 6 years? I don't know. I don't even know how the Prime Minister of this country and the President of the US will react. They will immediately start putting in some money, they will print notes, they will do whatever it is to revive the market. That's what we believe. What happens if the Prime Minister or the President say, oh, it is affecting a very small portion of the economy, so let me not bother too much? Can it happen? Will it happen? I don't know, but theoretically, share market is far more complicated than what people make it out to be. So again, even the regulator does not distinguish between an investor and a trader, with F&O. Now, if you look at the profitability of the brokerage firms, whether it is ICICI Securities, Zerodha, Grow or HDFC Securities, all of them are making money hand over fist. It's fairly easy for you to know from where this money is coming. Yes, new brokerage accounts are being opened. The brokerage rates have not really fallen after a particular stage. Of course, there is Zerodha telling you that the brokerage is zero. Then I'm wondering from where they're getting the profits. That is for somebody else to figure out, not for me. I'm just saying that it is not so simple that you just go and say do some F&O transactions and you will make money. The third is real estate. The way real estate is sold, that oh God has stopped making, the world population is increasing, so everybody will buy, so you will make money. Personal experience I've seen in Navi Mumbai, not far away from Bombay, the transaction 7-8 years back, which was about 1.7 crores, is today at 2.10 crores. Believe me, you would have made more money in a savings bank account. You would get stuck in a bad deal with a bad builder who does not deliver on time, and so you don't know what to do. You could be stuck with a bad job, you lose your job, you'll still have to pay the EMI. There are many such problems while buying in real estate. So I'm not even saying whether you should buy real estate or not buy real estate, but influencers trying to sell unit-linked products, brokerage accounts and real estate is very shocking, because these are products which, when we were being brought up, we were told these are very sophisticated products. It takes a long time to convince people, and there is a long process, right? So when you go to a HDFC Limited to take a housing loan, it used to be you have to sit there, you have to explain, you have to show your cash flow, then that fellow would say maybe the markets are right, wrong, right? So all that advice you would get, and then you have to take a decision. I don't see how people will take a decision so quickly, but there's a lot of real estate buying happening. I have nothing against real estate buying, but please understand, check out whether you are the capability to pay the EMI, because when I see older people buying, it is not as though they are borrowing. They are selling some of their ESOP shares or selling some other shares which they have built over the years, some mutual fund they redeem, and they use that for buying the shares. So maybe 80% or 70% is funded out of the money that they already have, and 20% they may be borrowing from some HDFC Bank or ICICI, and just supporting them, and also making sure that somebody is doing all the legal work because they are borrowing money. So maybe that is the reason why they are borrowing. So if you don't understand the transaction, just by seeing an Instagram post saying the most expensive houses dealt with in Pune, the most expensive houses dealt with in Chennai, you can keep getting such data and you think very many transactions are happening. Maybe they are happening, maybe they are not happening. You have to check what is good for you. It is easy for me to say, oh, real estate has not done anything for the last 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, and therefore it is poised for a jump. Maybe it is, but I don't know whether it is poised for a jump. So when clients transfer their accounts, and when I see people with high risk products, unnecessary products, and the way they are bombarded by people who go and say, why don't you give me 5 crores to manage, why don't you give me 10 crores to manage? You need to realize that for many people the extra return is not worth it for the extra risk that they are being forced to take. Some of them are smart enough and they don't fall for this, but too many people are falling for such things, and that's quite scary. So influencers have a duty. Influencers should make sure that people understand what they are doing. If you don't understand yourself what you're doing and you start endorsing products like this, at least there should be a notification saying these products are being sponsored. I mean, I'm getting sponsored by these people. Since I'm not getting sponsored by anybody, it's only for you to go and share this video more with more number of people, friends, relatives, etc., and that will help. Thank you.